Welcome back, everybody, to yet another From Screen to Shelf review. Today, I'm super stoked to talk to you about The 5 Days, an older, more lesser-known Argento movie on 4K, courtesy of Severin. Stay tuned. Alright, everybody, I am super excited to talk to everybody about this one today. I had a blast with this movie. This was a blind buy. I buy pretty much anything Argento. Huge fan of his. Didn't even know that he made this movie. Even whenever you go on Letterboxd, it's like his third to fourth last in like rankings, or not rankings, but ratings, like the most viewed whenever you filter that way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the boxing. So there's the slipcover. It's embossed right there. Looks awesome. So there's the slip cover. Throw that over there. There is the case with no interchangeable artwork. I was curious myself. And then a little card. And I'm pretty sure, nope, I did put the movie. No, Sympathy for the Devil's in there. It's still in my player. But anyways, this movie is set during the 1840s. It's set during the 5-day siege of Milan by the Austrian army. So you would kind of think, unless you kind of look into it a little bit more, that you're going to get into a little bit more of a historical war drama or something. That's really what I thought. But I saw it labeled as comedy, so I was kind of curious. I was like, comedy by Argento? It's got to be definitely really solid. This movie runs, I think, 2 hours and 1 minute, just over or under. And I honestly can say I wish it was longer. I don't say that too often because I'm more of a short form movie enjoyer personally. I think about 90 to 120 minutes is the exact sweet spot. So this kind of falls in there, but I definitely wanted it to be a little bit longer. I had an absolute blast with this movie. It ripped me at points with the comedy in there. So like there's a point where, like, just to kind of give you, it's a little bit of drier humor, which is definitely my sense of humor. There's a part where, like, earlier on in the movie, maybe mid-movie, like, these two people are making love, and like while they're doing it, they're naming off all these different types of bread. And the guy in the other room thinks that they're asking for bread, but they're not. It's just funny. It's funny. It was really, really good. I had a great time with it. The movie itself, I'm going to have to give it a solid 9 out of 10. 4.5 out of 5 is what I gave it on Letterboxd. I had an absolute blast with this movie. I don't want to get into too much detail outside of kind of the synopsis. So during that 5-day siege of Milan by the Austrian army, you follow two characters, Romulo, and it's like Cosini, something like that. They say his name a lot. I don't know why I can't remember it, but I loved the name. So they both portray it perfectly. This dude is kind of like a little lone wanderer type of personality that this guy keeps trying to tag along, and then they go on all these misadventures and keep ending up into the war. So it's a great time. I had an absolute blast with it. I had an absolute blast. Like I said, 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5, however you decide to do that scale. Now, in regards to the 4K itself, the 4K looks immaculate. There's some parts where you can tell, like, there was some, what's the exact term, where it starts, like, striping through the film elements and stuff like that. I don't believe that's considered vinegar syndrome, because vinegar syndrome can discolor and distort and add those tears, but I think it's just natural aging. There's nothing that they could really do about it, but it looked immaculate for what it was, and I had an absolute pleasant time with everything that was on there. The score in here was great. No, it's not Goblin, you know, but it had a very cultured soundtrack to it that fit the elements, and like I'm super happy that this one comes with a CD soundtrack, because I could definitely see myself listening to that on repeat. Now, in regards to the extras, and just to preface this, I didn't order this directly from Vinegar Syndrome. I have a habit of just stumbling upon amazing deals. There was an eBay seller, shout out you if you happen to be watching this, that was selling it for like 22 bucks. And I think after shipping and everything, it was like 27 or something like that. And I honestly wouldn't have minded paying full price for this. So I think I got it for an absolute steal at that price, especially for all the special features that it comes with. So on the 4K disc, you have an audio commentary with Troy Howarth, author of Murder by Design, The Unsane Cinema of Dario Argento, and Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson, and then the trailer, which I always say, check those out. Super cool little insight into like a little blast from the past. Then on disc 2 for the Blu-ray, you have Talking About a Revolution, interview with director Dario Argento, The Battle for Freedom, interview with screenwriter Luigi Cozzi, For the First Time, interview with executive producer Claudio Argento, and Italian Story, interview with actress Carla Tato, or Tato, I'm assuming it's Tato. Home Delivery, interview with actress Luisa DeSantis, 174 years ago, interview with production manager Angelo Lacono. Dario Argento, The Man, the Myths, and the Magic, author Alan Jones, on the 5 days and TV spots, and then again, shout out that CD soundtrack. So this movie right here is like, I really can't recommend it enough, especially if you like timepieces, things set during an era, during like historical events that have like a little bit of loose interpretation in there, because outside of it being funny, it definitely had some moments where it's like, you know, towards the end, it's like, damn, you know what I mean? I really wish Argento had done more of this. As much as I'm a big fan of his giallo, his horror, his thriller, whatever you want to categorize it as, because I know it's very varied across the board, I wish he would have done at least 1 or 2 more of these. I wish this movie would have gotten a lot more love. Of course, not a sequel to this, but like something else in that realm, showcasing his wide array of skills, because I had an absolute wonderful time with this one right here. So to wrap that particular thing up, if you are curious about this movie, I know we always shout it out. You might as well call us the Tubi from Screen to Shelf channel or the Tubi podcast. But you definitely, it's streaming free on Tubi. Definitely check it out on there if you're remotely curious about this. Even if you don't want to buy the 4K, I wanted to put out a solid recommendation for the movie itself. The 4K itself is definitely still worth it, but I definitely think it warrants you checking it out in any way that you can get access to. As I typically say, whenever we do these 4K reviews, if there's any way of you just typically watching the movie and this is your first foray and you aren't comfortable blind buying it, like I did this one, which I'm super happy I did, Tubi is the deity in the sky that shows us love and praise all around, right? That's yeah, Tubi is amazing. So just go on there. It's on Tubi, streaming free as of this recording, and definitely show this movie some love. If you have seen it, let me know down in the comments below what you think. Maybe this wasn't your favorite. Maybe you didn't have a good time. I was in stitches the entire time I watched this movie. This movie was hilarious. Very great, very heartfelt, very sentimental, a very good story, great acting, just all around the complete package in my opinion. You know, the story isn't necessarily the forefront as much as you're just following those characters around, but I mean, the story could, yeah, be a little bit stronger, but I mean, for what it does give you, it's very good, very, very good. Everything else about it is amazing / solid in my opinion. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, sound off in the comments below. Let me know if you've seen this, if you have this 4K, what your thoughts are. If you agree or disagree, let's start some dialogue below. Till next time, this is Chase with From Screen to Shelf signing out. Thank you, everybody.